What do you do when your back is against the wall and there seems to be no way out? Well, stay tuned on some tips on how you can help yourself out. Patrick Overton, a nationally recognized community arts developer, once noted, "When you walk to the edge of all the light you have and take that first step into the darkness of the unknown, you must believe that one of two things will happen. There will be something solid for you to stand upon, or you will be taught how to fly." I found this to be a very reassuring statement, particularly in these uncertain times that we're going through. We've had at times where we would step into something new, a new situation, either by choice or necessity, without knowing exactly how it's going to unfold. Yet we gain greater understanding of what it means to walk by faith and not by sight. We can act with positive expectancy. In other words, while we may not know exactly how the future may be, we can choose to believe it will unfold spiritually perfectly. As I was reflecting upon the notion of embracing the mystery of life, I remember when I was called to become a minister in Unity. And this was a calling that was something that I never imagined for myself at all. I never would have come up with such an idea on my own. But I answered the call, and I did what I needed to do to be accepted into ministerial school. At the time, as the time approached for me to attend the seminary, I began to have doubts. I was questioning myself whether I could really be a minister. And I wondered if it was the right thing for me to do. Nevertheless, I released my house, sold all that I had, the possessions that I had with me, all the things I didn't need. And the night before, I was scheduled to drive to Unity Village where the seminary was. And I felt uncertain. I had buyer's remorse, but there was no turning back at that point. In that instant, I decided to get some confirmation. I needed some confirmation and make sure I wasn't totally out of my mind. And I went to a Chinese restaurant for what I call my Last Supper experience. And at the end of the meal, the waiter gave me my fortune cookie. And the fortune said, "You have made the right choice. Follow through." Needless to say, I did follow through and stepped into the unknown. And the journey ended up to be fabulous. I did what I loved, and my growth as a soul being began to unfold more than I could have imagined. Often we want signs to show up before we move in the direction of our inner urgings. But when we step into the mystery of life, we realize their signs show up once we've made the decision. And after we make the decision, we move forward and we get what we need along the way, the ideas, the people, the resources. Because we were born to embrace the mysteries that life has before us. And this is how we grow and discover the talents and the capabilities that otherwise would not have been discovered if we were just electing to stay where we are. I think one of the keys to navigating the mysteries before us is to move with positive expectancy. We do this by waking up every day and expecting the glad surprise. And the glad surprise is a phrase coined by Howard Thurman, an influential author, an educator, and theologian, and civil rights leader. And he was amazed to let us know that we can always expect that glad surprise if we expect it in our life. And we condition ourselves to accept the glad surprise whenever things seem to be darkest and our backs are against the proverbial wall. It's in that moment when suddenly, like a stream of light, the answer will come. This is the nature of the glad surprise. We want to embrace the mysteries and uncertainties of life with the expectation of that glad surprise. And this requires that we surrender to the power and the presence and the love of God. Surrender, of course, is not acquiescing or giving up. It is yielding to something deeper and higher within us. And we're seeing from an expanded point of view. And by embracing the mystery, we are surrendering to the next stage of our revolution and evolution. And as we go on our next adventure called life, we do it with that attitude of expecting the glad surprise. And as we know, we will get something rushing to us beyond what we could imagine, because it wants to be expressed through and as our life. We have to love our steps, step into that solid ground. And if there's no ground, know that we will learn to fly along the way. Well, if you found any value in this message, I invite you to press the like button and leave a message if you'd like, just to share your own experiences of getting through any challenges in your own life. Till next time, know this is James Trapp, and you are blessed and a blessing, and you can be transformed by the renewing of your mind.